Good morning, you guys. All right, it is officially April 8th. The day is here. All right, this is the important part, okay? We've got a lot going on today, a whole lot. And it obviously hasn't just started. It started days ago, weeks ago, all right, with the energy up to today's date, all right? So I put together a very important, I want to say, my project, all right, about what this new moon solar eclipse is, what it means to me, the synchronistic signs of everything that I've put together. I'm going to go over it with it all with you guys, all right? So this might be a pretty long video. Not too long, but it's going to be long. Excuse my voice. I am a little stuffy this morning, but here I am at 8:18 a.m. currently at the time of the conjunction with the moon and the north node. Okay, moon in Aries, north node in Aries. All right, so we're speaking about the energy of my destiny. All right, everyone's destiny, however and wherever this sits for you. All right, I'm a sun Aquarius. Aries is obviously my third house, has a lot to do with communication, all right, research. It just overall is giving me the opportunity to put this online so that others are able to view this later on, today, in the future, whenever this crosses your path and whenever you're meant to see it. I feel this will be for you, okay? So I'm going to start off with the new moon solar eclipse and the stellium times that this is going to be happening, all right? So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to share some important times, historical events, some fun facts, symbols, all right, even things from the Chinese astrology that I didn't think was going to be affected by this, this here solar eclipse. So it's all about throughout today's energy. All right, I'm going to start off there. So the solar eclipse obviously takes place in Aries. It's the very first zodiac sign of the astrological wheel. Aries is ruled by Mars, representing action, energy, initiative. All right, it speaks about force, effort, courage, aggression, anger, conflict, sexuality, competition, fighting, sports. Speaks about husbands, young men. Speaks about armed forces, police, engineers, and butchers. Okay, so yesterday was the beginning of where the moon was conjuncting the planetary transits that were all in Aries, beginning with Venus. All right, so yesterday was the 7th. The conjunction happened at 3 degrees and 6 minutes at exactly 12:22 p.m. Eastern Central Time. All right, this is where I am. I'm on the east side, okay? It says Mercury, obviously, which is the planet of communication. It rules over both the third house and the sixth houses in astrology. And at times, it can be associated with the opposing sign of the third house, which is Sagittarius, the ninth house, because it does involve higher knowledge, spirituality, and foreign travel, as Mercury rules over Gemini, which has to do with, again, communication, short travel, transportation, all right, which also can speak of, it's a similarity for me, the way that I see these energies, third and the ninth house in opposition, which for me, again, is where my Aries and Libra sits, all right? So we're speaking about like North Node, South Node energy here, okay? This current transit yesterday happened at the hour of Jupiter. Jupiter pertaining to the energy of luck, optimism, hope, success, expansion, development, wisdom, faith, compassion, trust, favor, worldviews, confidence, generosity, sincerity, benefactors, philosophers, advisors, investors, law, religion, mythology, theory, higher education, banking, churches, and inflations. All right. So here at this current time, where I'm beginning the reading, we are with the moon conjunct the north node in Aries. Today's date is April 8th, and it's happening exactly at 15 degrees and 37 minutes in Aries. All right. We're at the hour of Saturn right now. So this has to do with order, structure, discipline, limits, severity, prudence, patience, austerity, seriousness, obstacles, restrictions, constraints, lack of something, slowness, delays, the father or the father figure in general, state, governments, borders, conservative politics, landmines, and real estate. All right. Later on today, this is the most important conjunction of the day, by the way. All right, which is going to be the moon conjunct Sun and Chiron at the exact time, or the exact degree, should I say. All right. So obviously today it's, again, April 8th. We're going to have it at 19 degrees and 24 minutes, and it will happen exactly at 2:22 p.m. All right, I'm going to pause there for a second. I don't know if you guys had noticed, but I did a reading the other day, and I kept seeing the energy of repetition, whether it was 222, 333, 444. It was coming up in the reading a whole lot. All right. That was significant to today's transit, and I didn't notice it up until I did my research. Okay, so we'll kind of move forward there. All right, so it's happening today at the hour of the moon, so it has to do with subconscious, your soul, all right, memory, reflection, habits. It speaks about people's emotions, utilizing the imagination, mood swings, okay, behavior, reactions, your instincts, the motherhood, the female principle, all right, so the mother in general, family life, your child upbringing, feeding, care, nurturing, household chores, opinions, traditions, customs. It has to do with popularity, emotional atmospheres, large groups of people, food supply, changeability, and rhythm. All right. So the very last transit of today with the stellium of planets is going to be the moon conjunct Mercury in Aries. All right. That one's going to happen again today, April 8th, at 24 degrees and 34 minutes. And it's going to happen later tonight at 10:38 p.m. All right. So what I'm looking at here is the repetition of the hours. Obviously, you guys know, if you watch my channel, I utilize the date that we're in, what day it's happening on, and what planetary hour this energy is happening within. All right. So with today being Moon's Day, because it's Monday, we already saw where the full moon lunar eclipse in Libra happened, which is the opposition of where this north node is happening, which was where the south node is. Okay. It happened on Moon's Day. So something significant to the energy of the moon. All right. So this is why I brought that up. So the very last conjunction again is the moon conjunct Mercury later on today at 10:38 p.m. All right. So here's where I step into the synchronicities that I was looking at here within this whole, I want to say, my investigation of the new moon solar eclipse. All right. It says, what caught my eye was the time of the conjunction. And that was the very first thing I said was, oh my goodness, this has been coming up in my reading for a very long time. So the energy of 222, all right, where the actual conjunction of the moon, Chiron, and the sun, which is where the sun and the moon will, that's the actual eclipse. That's where it happens. So what does angel number 222 mean? 222 is the number associated with balance, with collaboration, with love and harmony. According to spiritual author Doreen Virtue, 222 means trusting that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to be, with divine blessings for everyone involved, and letting go and having faith. These are things that have been coming up in my reading for the longest, all right? I believe my last reading with the higher self oracle cards were saying, let go and let God is what I was saying, all right? So what blew my mind here was that we have the sun, the moon, and Chiron conjuncting at exactly 19 degrees and 24 minutes. You guys do the math. What year are we in? 2024. All right. If we reduce that from 1924, we're at 100-year celebration. All right. Which is amazing because we were looking for some sort of milestone when I kept pulling the energy of the Four of Wands at the beginning of the week. And it kept coming up. And I'm like, Venus moving into Aries is going to be significant here. I was seeing the energy of celebration. I'm thinking of the energy of like the root chakra and us stepping into the energy of creativity with the sacral chakra, needing the willpower and the vitality behind us to move forward with the energy of the solar plexus chakra, right? So what's the next chakra coming after that? It's the heart chakra, which is the color green, okay? So let's move forward here. I'm going to move forward into some sort of historical events because it kind of blew my mind where this is a 100-year celebration for us, all right? So I looked up 1924, all right? Historical event timeline. Let's look at this, all right? As I mentioned, this is going to be something big. So here we have the death of Vladimir Lenin, okay? Vladimir Lenin was a key figure in the Bolshevik Revolution and was the first leader of the USSR. His untimely death at the age of 53 was recorded as being as a result of an incurable blood vessel disease. Interesting, right? Aries rules over the head, the face, the tongue, the teeth, the hair, arteries, and blood. Okay? In his honor, Petrograd was renamed Leningrad. His embalmed body remains in a mausoleum near the Kremlin in Moscow, Russia, to this day, where people from around the world come to pay their respects. All right, so on January 27th of 1924, the mausoleum of Lenin is placed in a Red Square, Moscow, or in Red Square, Moscow. I'm guessing that's the city within Moscow. It says, millions of mourners from across the USSR had waited in line for hours to see his body, which was put on display at the House of Trade Unions. All right, Lenin's head and hands will still be visible to visitors. Who rules the head? I just said it was Aries. Who rules the hands? It's Gemini energy. Weird. All right, because I said it was going to be significant to the energy. January 27th of 2024, Uranus steps into direct energy within Aquarius, all right? And Aquarius had just transited, or Pluto had just transited into Aquarius. Pluto is what? The planet of destruction, so that we can rebuild, all right? Keep that in mind. So here we go. On January 31st, that's my birthday, by the way. January 31st of 1924, all right, the Congress of Soviets ratifies a treaty that embodies separate nations, Belarusian, Ukrainian, Transcaucasian, into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republicans. Now, I'm only bringing this up because it's of significance to the Soviet Union, all right? We're speaking about the top two, which are Russia and Ukraine, which are currently at war here in 2024. All right, so this guy, the death of Vladimir Lenin back in 1924, who's the damn president of Russia right now? It blew my mind. His name is Vladimir Putin, all right? He has held the title of prime minister, or the president, obviously, since 1999. The president of Ukraine name is Volodymyr Zelensky, who has held his title of prime minister or president since 2019. All right. I'm looking at the synchronicities in the time frame. Here I'm getting where we have one president that has massive amounts of experience, right? Mr. Vladimir Putin, at 1999 being the president of Russia. And then here we have this current president of Ukraine at a very younger age, all right? He started his presidency at 2019, or I'm pretty sure he was more so involved, but officially at 2019, where there's a 20-year difference in between the experience of these two leaders, okay? But let's go back, and we're talking about 100 years ago, all right, where this guy, what's his name, Vladimir Lenin, all right, had passed away in 1924, all right? I just want to show you a picture of these guys because it kind of freaked me out. It really did. It freaked me out. I'm going to flip the camera for a second. Look at these guys. Like, this is Mr. Lenin here, and this is Mr. Putin. I feel, don't they look the same? Like the whole forehead thing without the mustache thing. Very seriousness. All right, this guy seems like he loves his job. This guy hates his damn job. I'm just saying, like, it was hilarious to me. Okay, it was freaking funny as I'm doing this research. But, all right, moving on. So, let's look at Vladimir Putin wants to resist further eastward expansion of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is NATO, all right, restore Russia's strategic depth and reclaim its historical sphere of influence around its western borders, which Ukraine is its central goal. All right, I don't know why this is significant, but I'm just trying to get the facts of everything that's happening right now with why are we at war, all right? I don't know why that's significant, but it is to the history of back in 1924, this 100-year celebration, to this very important man, the president back then, being the same name of the president now. Weird. All right. Which is funny because I looked up this name, Vladimir, and it represents a prince. If you look up the name Vladimir, it requires, it speaks of the name representing the energy of a prince. All right. I don't know. But here we have Volodymyr Zelensky, and I put him opposed this energy of Adolf Hitler, all right, because that's the next thing I'm going to be speaking about here. Look at this picture. All right. This is so funny. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get back here. This is hilarious to me. It's like, what is going on with these guys? Now look at the seriousness in these guys' face here. All right, here we have Zelensky, and here we have Hitler. All right. Again, the similarities in the faces, the ears, the style of the hair even. All right. Whereas these guys look alike. He more so has the whole mustache thing going on. It's kind of giving me like, what do you call that? The goatee look. All right. Whereas more so Hitler is like, no, we're more professional around here. We're going to shape this up. We're just going to leave this little stash. Over here, he has more so the energy of the goatee going on. I don't know. That caught my attention for some reason. I don't know back then what it looked like and what, if it was meant to be where we're shaping up, you know what I mean? But Hitler was more serious for me. This other guy, Vladimir, he didn't look too serious. He has like this little smirk on his face, like, I don't know. It was different back then. All right, let's continue on. The following historical event that I looked up, it's Hitler's time in the release from prison. All right, so his time in and his release from prison that year, specifically 1924. It says, in Germany, Adolf Hitler was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his involvement in beer hall putsch, whatever that is. All right, I'm going to look it up for you guys because I looked it up last night and I was like, what the hell does this beer hall putsch have to do with anything, right? But apparently it was a place where, the community would come together to have conferences. Here, I'll read it out to you guys. It says, in the early 20th century, many of the larger cities of southern Germany had beer halls where hundreds and sometimes thousands of people would socialize in the evenings, drinking beer and participating in political and social debates. Such beer halls became the host of occasional political rallies. One of Munich's largest beer halls was Burger Keller, which became the site where the putsch began. All right. Why that's significant? Because apparently Adolf Hitler started some shit. Okay. Hitler spent 9 months in Landsberg jail, where he spent his time writing his autobiography, Mein Kampf. All right. It says He was released early due to political pressure from Nazi party supporters. Some people believe Hitler's time in prison was crucial character building for him and the main way he prepared himself to become Germany's dictator. His autobiography helped him build his cult of personality and express his views, and he was able to assure himself of his character. So this is almost like him presenting who he's going to step out into the world to be at this specific year. 1924 obviously had a lot to do with this whole, what we're looking at in opposition to where we are now. All right. Moving forward. I'm going to jump back to that in a second, but moving forward. All right. So Immigration and Citizenship Acts in the U.S. This is another big thing in 1924. It says, this is a very important event in our 1924 timeline since it changed the lives of so many people. 1924 was a crucial year for Immigration and Citizens Acts in the U.S. Introduced by President Calvin Coolidge. On May 26, President Coolidge signed an immigration law that restricted immigration to the United States from other countries due to the huge influx of immigrants following the end of the First World War. The prosperity experienced by the United States and the devastated European countries made America a very tempting place to travel to and to start a new life. Okay, so we're speaking about foreigners trying to come into the United States and start a new life. All right, back in 1924. One aspect of the immigration laws was that Asian Exclusion Act, in which immigrants from particular Asian countries were banned from entering the country entirely. With European immigrants, a quota was set in which only a certain number of immigrants could enter the country each year. A literary test had already begun introducing in 1917, meaning immigrants had to demonstrate basic reading skills to be allowed in the United States. On June 2nd, President Coolidge signed the Indian Citizenship Act, which declared all Native Americans to be American citizens. This meant Native Americans would be considered proper citizens of the country, but this unfortunately didn't mean they would no longer be subject to discrimination. All right. What this gives me with the whole immigration thing is we've seen so many foreigners trying to come in. We've been experiencing this stuff for years now, right? Where they've been trying to protect the border from, Mexico over to the United States. Where when we were in COVID, they had stopped, all flights coming in from foreign countries to stop the spread of COVID, right? So I feel that this has a lot to do with the upcoming moments of this specific timeline where immigration and citizenship acts in the U.S. were most important. All right. So we're speaking about, again, 100 years ago. All right. Now, the following thing, which blew my mind because we just spoke about this the other day, the Statue of Liberty was declared a national monument in 1924. Right. It says, ever since the Statue of Liberty was given as a gift to the United States, it has been a symbol of democracy, liberty, and freedom, ideals that the American nation embodies and projects to the rest of the world. It would also be given to America to commemorate the centennial of the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence, as well as the friendship between the United States and France. The statue became so symbolic of these values that in 1924 it was officially declared a national monument. What happened the other day to the monument? All right, to the Statue of Liberty. It was struck down by lightning. On April 3rd, this happened, where a photographer came in and took a picture over the storm that was happening over New York. All right. And it happened to be that the lightning struck directly on top of the torch. All right. Also, what happened, throughout, this past week, there was the earthquake in North Jersey that shook almost the whole east side. I mean, the east coast of, from Jersey all the way up, I believe, to Connecticut, something like that. All right. And that happened to be around the same area where the lightning thing happened. All right. So it says, since 1886, Lady Liberty has stood on Liberty Island as a sentinel for liberty and justice for all, but she hasn't always been green. All right. Look it up. When the statue was completed in 1886, the copper panels shined like a new penny. However, over the years, the copper color shifted to green as the metal oxidized. The sculptor had no idea that the copper statue would change to its iconic greenish blue color some 20 years later. How crazy is that, right? Did I not just mention that, these political leaders where we have, Putin here in his presidency since 1999, and we have Zelensky being in his presidency since 2019 at a 20-year difference. I don't know, the number 20 is coming up for me because I refer everything to tarot and the major arcana for the 20th major arcana would be the judgment card. So I feel like we're being judged at this time. You know what I mean? Where we're meant to come in and start collaborating and reuniting back together and just making things peaceful in the world. All right. And the 20th major arcana card does represent for me all fire signs. And that's going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right. So that's why I brought that up. Now let's move on to, let's see what did I put here. All right. So these are some other minor events. Now we're speaking about Aries energy, right? So I was looking into like competitive sports. So January 26th, this guy Charles Jutraw, which was an American skater, claims the first ever Winter Olympic gold medal. He won the 500 mile or the 500 meter, whatever that means, speed skating event in 44 seconds at the Chamonix Games in France. This was kind of giving me, you guys know I always utilize my Oracle of the Radiant Sun book, right? And it was giving me the energy of like the whole Mercury in Sagittarius energy where it speaks about competitive sports. All right. That's a part of Aries energy. All right. It has a lot to do with competitive sports. Like these are fast moving action, requires, for you to be unafraid. You know what I mean? Have courage and continue to push forward. That's what's kind of giving me the energy of this whole like minor event thing. All right, so let's look at March 8th. A coal mine explosion occurs near Castlegate, Utah, killing 171 miners. The explosion that was so powerful that the steel gates of the mine were ripped from the concrete foundations. This is giving me the whole Saturn and Aries energy. All right, from that specific book. When I look it up and I see these things, we see that these planetary transits are happening at the hour of Saturn today, right? And we're looking at the energy of needing to take risks when it comes to structure, when we're trying to build things, all right? So that was what caught my eye with that one. This is a good one, all right? So on March 21st of 1924, these are all historical events from back then. The first foreign language course is broadcasted on U.S. radio, all right? That's also giving me Mercury and Sagittarius energy because these are like new discoveries that were taking place at that time. When I look at these energies, it's almost like these are things that we're doing now. Foreign language is so significant. I want to take a sip real quick, guys. Foreign language is so significant because I feel that at this time, if there was anything that was to happen here in the United States where we actually had to travel outside of the States, we would need to be able to communicate. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows it's like, yeah, let's go to Google. Let's just translate it, right? This has been a thing coming up in my reading as well. Anytime I pull up the energy of it, I think it's like Jupiter and Libra. Every time I see Jupiter and Libra, I think of learning a specific language for a specific research project. Okay? That to me has a lot to do with, when I think radio, I'm thinking of Mercury. All right? I'm thinking of how Uranus will be stepping into Gemini really soon, which is all about the way that we communicate, radio, media, the television, putting on acts and things like that, sharing our ideas with people and putting it out on the radio is big, right? So what else we have? Jupiter stepping into Gemini this year as well. all right, where Jupiter rules over what? It's foreign travel, all right? So moving on to the next one, hold on. Back on March 31st of 1924, here we have, what is it? The London public transport strike ends. This blew my mind last night. I was like, are you kidding me? It's giving me the whole Mercury and Aries thing again. It's like the impulsive, long, drawn-out dispute energy. I looked it up. London train are having strikes literally here in 2024. It says the ASLEF drivers at 16 rail companies are going to walk out over 3 days. Plus, there will be an overtime ban. These train strikes will be on April 5th, April 6th, and today on April 8th, while the overtime ban will be on April 4th, April 6th, and April 8th, and April 9th. All right, so maybe we can come to some sort of conclusion of an ending after today's date on how we're going to move forward with these issues that are happening, you know, with these London train strikes. But that blew my mind because here it was, you know, March 31st, which obviously is in Aries season. The London plane transport strike ends back in 1924. Okay, that was weird. April 17th. The Metro Pictures, Goldwyn Pictures, and Louis B. Mayer Company merged to form the Metro Goldwyn Mayer, which is the MGM entertainment business, which gives me the energy of Mercury and Aries. All right. That's the contact with the media, right? Again, entertainment. We're speaking about television, things like that. All right. April 18th. This was the funny one for me. The first crossword puzzle is published by Simon & Schuster. The Mars and Gemini energy. All right. This is all about needing to cross-question someone, utilizing the mental state. All right. So those were the fun facts. All right. Of the minor events of the history of 1924. Now the fun facts. 1924 Chinese year. All right, 1924 Chinese year was the year of the wood rat, all right, which is the very first house in Chinese astrology. Who's the first house in our astrological chart? It's Aries, all right. So it says the rat. I'm just going to read out, let me just tell you guys, I had started working back in Chinese astrology and I was stopped. Spirit says stop, all right, because I was going into things that I felt was way more advanced than where I was at the time, but I had interest in it. So I started and I did research and I put it all together for all 12 of the Chinese year zodiacs, right? And I got everything as much as I could of the information and I left it alone. Never used it again. I refer to this when I have to go back to it, but that was Spirit's way of saying nothing is ever to be unused when it comes to information that you gather. So 1924 Chinese year of the wood, first house in the Chinese zodiac, all right. The rat speaks about smart, flexible, adaptable, outgoing, and being self-expressive. We've been speaking about being creative and self-expressive for I don't know how long now, all right. The characteristics are intelligent, quick-witted, very social, and talkative. All right, the negative side of this could be stubborn, wordy, greedy, devious, and love to gossip. That we not keep seeing this energy coming up in the reading. It's like, who's this energy? Who's this trying to gossip, trying to start some sort of mental conflict energy? That's what I was getting from that. All right, but what was expected here, when anytime we experience the year of the rat, is where we're supposed to pursue growth and opportunities fearlessly. Going forward, it's a yang year. All right. Very first zodiac sign, it's a yang year. All right. So when I looked up these energies and where the compatibility were, so a rat year or a person born in the rat year should marry or partner with, number one, an ox, a rabbit, and or a dragon, which I'm speaking of the year of the ox or the year of the rabbit or the year of a dragon. All right. So here we are in 2024. 100 years later, all right, where we are at the year of the wood dragon. Okay, I just said that back in 1924 we were at the year of the wood rat. Here we are at another yang year, All right. 2024 Chinese year of the wood dragon. It's the 5th house in Chinese astrology. All right. So the dragon, which is naturally lucky, powerful, gifted, intelligent. The characteristics are charismatic, confident, with innate courage. All right. The negative sides could be unable to control your emotional state, which obviously I've been pouring tears out. I don't know why, because we have Saturn and the ruler to Aries, Mars in Pisces, which is a very sentimental sign. All right. With Neptune. And who else is there? Yeah, just those 3 at this time, because Venus moved out already. And then we have what's expected this year is to be lucky, wealthy, and step into the energy of our power. Okay, so the compatibility with the year of the wood dragon, these people should marry the year of the rat, the year of the tiger, or the year of the snake. So if you notice, back in 1924, where the year of the rat is compatible to the year here in 2024 with the year of the dragon, vice versa. Okay, so let's look at the elements. One of water, the other of earth. All right, so water being the rat, and then the wood dragon year being within the element of earth. All right, it looks like the compatibility with the lucky numbers are going to be the 6th year of the Chinese zodiac, which I believe is the sign of, let me go back. Let me just look at this real quick. Just blew my mind with these like synchronicities that I was catching here. All right, so it looks like it was the year of the snake, the compatibility within the two. All right, being like the lucky number of that year. All right, so the snake represents intuitive, imagination, competent, wise, and sensitive people. Funny, persuasive, sympathetic, and passionate. All right, and we're looking at professional luck appearing as joyful challenges, mentorship and guidance providing support. This is the energy that I'm speaking about. We're talking about people stepping in to the spiritual world and how we're going to be of service to other people. And the reason I bring up service up is because our 6th house in our chart represents what? Focusing in on your health, focusing in on some sort of daily routine, and how you're going to be of service to other people. All right, and it could definitely have to be where the energy of like spirituality is involved, right? So let's jump out of that energy. So that's what I had, the both yang energies within the two, and how the masculine energy is of significant for this specific year. Oh my gosh, I'm already 37 minutes in. All right, one more thing I want to go over with you guys is the Sabian symbols of these energies happening today. So I'm only going to pull from the major one that's going to happen with the moon conjunct the sun in Chiron and Aries, which is where the actual eclipse happens at 2:22 p.m. All right, so let's look up the 19-degree and 24-minute mark with the Sabian symbol, which we always round up. So we're going to look at the 20-degree mark of Aries, and I'll read it out to you guys. All right, so a young girl feeding birds in the wintertime. The 19-degree mark started with the energy of the magic carpet. And I spoke about these back probably about a week or two ago on how there was like some sort of rising above the ordinary perception and utilizing the energy of the imagination and the creativity part of it, right? So this one speaks about the Aries 19-degree mark was about rising above ordinary perception, relaxing the mind, supporting a creative, positive, and visionary way of seeing things, and training how to release the grasping mind. All right. It says a way of life refusing hectic involvement in social competition and wasteful overproduction allows for development of unattached, transcendent understanding. When in repose, the creative mind can better survey our present situation, and then stuck routine can be transformed into a new holistic perception. We're speaking about our daily routines, how we utilize the mind, and how we stay in the energy of equilibrium within the mind, the body, as well as in the soul, right? Within your spirit. It says the mind has an infinite capacity to overview experience and use imagination as a magical process. All right, let's jump to the 20-degree mark, which is where, we're heading. A young girl feeding birds in the winter. I don't know if you guys remember the depiction I was showing you, how it was kind of giving me, I'm laughing because my name is Jasmine, right? The depiction is showing this girl that's flying on the magic carpet, and it was giving me the Aladdin feel. All right. In the 19-degree mark, you can see that she's standing on the magic carpet, but you can't see her feeding the bird up until you get to the 20-degree mark in this depiction. And I'll show you what that looks like real quick. All right. That's what it looks like. Whereas here, at the 19-degree mark, she's standing with her body there, but you can't see her feeding the bird just yet. Weird, right? Okay, let's read it over. So it speaks about seeing life as a constant opportunity to experience love. And life's very harshness is what enables us to learn of love's unfathomable depth. Unfathomable depth. And it says, being innocent and fearless in love. So nature is harsh. People and animals suffer and starve and they die. Yet without harshness, compassion cannot exist. There will be no place for it. There is no higher purpose than to live life as a constant expression of compassionate love. This is neither fanciful nor sentimental love. It is feeding the hungry stranger. This gives me the energy of needing to come together as a community of people to feed what it is that we're missing, and that is in the energy of love. What does my shirt say? Love me or love me not, okay? So that's what I'm kind of getting. Is like those that no longer serve you are being eclipsed out of your life, all right? So that we can jump to the other side of this picture, all right? Instead of just looking at us as floating on this magic carpet, we're looking at the energy of how can we actually feed what it is that the other is missing, all right? Whether that is information, whether that is literally food, whether that is love, whether that is compassion, whether that is a friendship, whatever type of energy it is that is missing, I feel this is our opportunity to experience expressing the energy of love. All right. So it shows the energy of hospitality, and it is the act of giving spiritual nourishment that is felt as joy. The energy that I kept seeing last week was the energy of the moon in Taurus, which number one is exalted, and it represents the energy of the Six of Pentacles, which in the depiction in tarot, I'll show it to you guys. Let me find it. It represents the energy of giving and receiving. Here it is, right here. And what number is that? That's the Six of Pentacles. So the number 6 is very significant here. The 6th house of daily routines, of, of service to other people, of pets, and how we're expressing the energy of compassion within the two. All right. Pets are our loved ones as well. Okay. So you guys, I'm a little worn out. I am going to do a spread. All right. Let me get shuffling here. But that's all I have pertaining to all the information I gathered with this solar eclipse. I was mind blown with all the information that I was given here. Obviously, I'm going to thank the divine, because I don't know what kept me up to 2-3 o'clock this morning finishing up this specific project that I can share with you guys. All right. So yeah, that's what I have, like back to the historic events and how the synchronicities were taking place, of how I even looked to gather this information with the whole 19-degree mark and 24 minutes of this conjunction happening with the energy of Chiron. Chiron is the asteroid that speaks of like healing. That was another thing. I have to look this up for you guys. This blew my mind. All right. Where is it? Something told me to go look up April 8th of 1924 in the astrological chart, specifically pertaining to the very last conjunction of today's energy, which happens to be the moon and Mercury. And I only did that because I said, what communication could be sent out for the very last conjunction of today? Heading back into the energy of 1924. Let's see where the comparison is what I was looking for. Can you guys believe that Chiron, which is obviously the asteroid of healing, all right, was at 20 degrees and 24 minutes of Aries that specific year? Did we not speak about the 1924 and the 2024 difference? So 1924, where the conjunction is happening with Chiron, the sun, and the moon, here in 2024, Chiron was at 20 degrees and 20 degrees and 24 minutes back in 1924. I was blown away. Hold on, I'll show you. I'm not kidding. Look. Chiron. 20 degrees. Hold on. 20 degrees, 24 minutes. All right. Back in, let's go. April 8th of 1924 at 10:38 p.m. And 10:38 p.m. tonight is where the very last transit takes place with the conjunctions happening today with the energy of the moon. Where the North Node is at this time. Okay? In Aries. Guys, blown away completely. Completely blown away. I was like, oh my goodness. All right. Amazing. Amazing. Crazy. And it was literally like 1 minute off from where we are now, right? 1924 to 2024. 1 degree off, to be exact. Which I'm pretty sure is like nothing right now, right? Because we're getting ready to hit that within a few hours. Where are we at? 222 it happens. Here I am reading with you guys at 9:04 a.m. Okay? So amazing synchronicities that this gave me here. And I am truly grateful for God to be able to guide me to look into this stuff and share it with you guys. All right. Let's start off with the Astro Dice. Let's see what comes out. I hope so far I've impressed you guys with the information that was gathered. I was blown away by it. All right, I'm seeing, wow. I'm seeing Scorpio's energy here being significant to the reading. I have Scorpio in the first house with Mars's energy. Obviously, Mars also rules over Aries. So, I'm getting Scorpio energy, wherever this lies in your chart. That's interesting because, again, I'm an Aquarius. You know, it's funny because I refer to myself so much more as an Aquarius than my actual rising sign, which is a Sagittarius. And I say that because of the placement that takes place with Scorpio in my chart pertaining to every time I refer to Aquarius' energy, which is my 10th house. It speaks of duty, of perseverance. It speaks of, you know, the journey that I have here within the career I'm heading into. All right. My divine life purpose energy is what it kind of gives me. It also represents, I'm getting structure. All right. And where the energy of authority is to be stepped into here. All right. Let me just kind of clear this stuff out real quick before I get myself ahead of the game. I don't know. There was a lot happening as well with like, what was I looking into? Something about France. A lot happening in France at the time. Pertaining to like the Olympics is what I was getting. The Olympic Games. Something about the Olympic Games. All right. I don't know. Let's get out of that energy. All right. So that's all the information I wanted to share with you guys with that. Let's go into tarot at this time. What do I want to pull with you guys? Let's pull from the Cardinal Energy deck. All right. This is representing the seasons. Let's see what the message is here that Spirit wants us to know. And then I'll pull from tarot. I'll pull a crystal spirit and I'll end the reading. It's already at 48 minutes. I'm going to try my best to do an all signs today because that was actually on my project for Friday, but I never was able to get to it. I had a lot of deep readings this weekend. Yesterday I did one, but I didn't post because I didn't feel that I needed to. I wanted to more so focus on this energy of the representation I wanted to give to you guys today. And also, the message that came across, I believe, on Sunday was the most significant. You guys, if you go listen to that last reading, I feel you'll truly be inspired by the energy that was coming through there. All right, let's see what Spirit has for us here. Solar eclipse in Aries. So the Henbane card comes out. Forgiveness and moving on. All right. Moving forward and trusting your path. I don't make it up. That's what came out. All right. This is the energy of winter. So that is the representation of the winter solstice, which we obviously know that is represented by Capricorn. All right. It's the very beginning of that time of the year. So what I'm getting here is that it's time to move forward, right? From all of the madness that we've been experiencing. Don't ask me why wars are happening at this time. I don't know. I don't make this history up. I don't know why we're even fighting over things that we can't control. All right? Things that are out of our control. But apparently Russia wants to come in and take over some shit. Okay? That's what it is. What's on the bottom of the deck here is the Foxglove card. Represents summer energy. This is the representation of Cancer. So there is an opposition here. And I'm looking at this card meaning self-assessment and identity of who you are. Knowing yourself and the guidance that you have set up for yourself. That's what that card's all about. All right, so let's read them out real quick. All right, so let's look at the positive side of things here. Number 51. There goes that number 6 again. I keep seeing it. So 5 and 1 is 6. All right, so here we go. Henbane. It says, in ancient Greece, the bodies of the dead would be crowned with chaplets of henbane flowers to wear on their journey down the river Styx, a final link between their past life and the new one awaiting them. Whatever your destination, you're on the final stretch. Your goal is so close that you know the way. With your eyes closed, wear your crown, move forwards. The river will take you there. When I tell you guys, we are literally ending one chapter, closing it out and entering a new one. That is what this eclipse is bringing in. As the moon is stepping in between the earth and the sun, that's what we're experiencing. A dark moment where one door of the past is closing. The celebration of 100 years back from 1924 to now. All right, we're ending this and we're moving into a new chapter in our lives. Okay? Here as a collective, I mean. Now let's look at 18 and what that means with Foxglove. All right. It says, Saint Necton came to his violent end at the hands of 2 cattle thieves who beheaded him when he confronted them. Determined not to die away from his home, he simply picked up his head and walked back to his hut, where he finally laid down and died. Foxgloves sprung from where his blood fell along the way. Others may try to advise you otherwise, but you know the best time and place for the goals that you want to achieve. Rely on yourself for guidance and meet your deadlines on your own terms. I feel you're on your own time right now. On your own timeline, should I say. All right. I don't know, when I read this whole Foxglove thing, it was giving me the energy of Vladimir back in 1924. The Vladimir Lenin guy. And how they laid him to rest, where people were able to come and visit him. And they were able to see his head. Okay. And his hands. Weird. Like Foxglove is what I just thought of. I don't know why I thought of that, but that's what I did. All right. Like him being able to carry his head back to his people and saying, I made it. You know what I mean? Even though I died, you guys can kind of like, give me my kudos for everything that I've done for you guys. That type of thing. It was weird the way I read it. All right. So, but it says this, others may try to advise you otherwise, but you know the best time and place for the goals that you want to achieve. So rely on yourself for guidance and meet your deadlines on your own terms. All right. So I kept saying that to everybody. It's almost like, don't compare yourself to somebody. If there's something that you want to start, if there's something that Spirit is asking you to come out and step into the energy of being creative, self-express in your own way. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Do your own thing. And I feel like those that appreciate the work that you do will support you. Okay? Let's look at henbane on the flip side of things. It says in ancient Greece, the dead were crowned with chaplets of henbane, helping them forget their previous lives so that they may move forward to the underworld without regrets. Okay. The underworld may not be your destination, but something is still holding you back right now. Find it, forgive it, and move forward with more freedom. All right. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for independence as a collective. We're looking for freedom. We're looking for justice for all. All right. So step out of the energy of the past and move into the future, and let's see how we can come together as a collective and fix things here in the world. All right. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're meant to do it. All right. 18, foxglove on the flip side. Foxglove is one of the plants said to protect a babe against being replaced by a fairy changeling child. A fairy changeling child. Perhaps you feel as though you do not recognize yourself anymore or the path that your life is taking, but it's not too late to grab hold of that stranger and banish them. Indulge in a pastime you haven't picked up for a while, or take a walk down a familiar road to remind yourself of who you used to be. Or perhaps you like this new shelf that has emerged and want to embrace it. It is natural change to grow. It is natural to change and grow, and so you can have your own identity. I'm telling you. It's all about how do you want to present yourself out to the world in this day and age, not how things used to be in the past, or the person you used to be in the past, those people you associated with in the past. In the past. Okay? That was you back then. Don't let people tell you, oh, this is who you used to be. This is who I've known you as. You're not that person anymore. You're different now. You're stepping into a new you. Okay? And you don't have to force that ideal or whatever that looks like for you to anybody but yourself. Because you have to prove yourself to yourself and go where you want to go. All right? Yes, we're going to utilize. I can't get away from this new deck here. It shuffles so well. So as I split the deck, I have, wow, Empress. I seen the 9 of Pentacles, and then it shifted like this. And it showed me the 9 of Pentacles. So pre-Empress status, King of Pentacles, legacy, abundance. It's giving me long-term stability. All right, moving forward, very grounded energies is what I'm seeing here. All right, so Taurus season could be of significance. Very important there. All right, let's see. Unexpected changes. There's that whole Scorpio, Taurus energy I kept seeing. All right, let's see. The next big reading I'm going to do for you guys with looking into information is going to be the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus. And we have a stellium of planets stepping into Taurus as well. So we'll go over that energy when that time comes. We'll have the sun stepping into Taurus on April 19th. And the conjunction happening on the 20th. All right. So then officially we'll be into fixed energy. All right. And officially out of this cardinal energy. Let's see what comes out. What do we need to know about the eclipse? Knight of Wands. There's a message coming through. I'm telling you guys, it has a lot to do with collaborations. With doing what it is that you love to do, even if it's pertaining to work. All right. The Ace of Swords. You're going to see clarity, truth. You're going to gain a new perspective on things. All right, here's another Knight. Fast incoming communication, fast incoming changes, fast incoming conversations that need to be had, all right, about success in the near future with the Chariot card. All right, so from the Knight of Wands to the 3 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords to the Knight of Swords to the Chariot, it's only leading to the energy of success. I'm seeing fire and air here, which obviously we're looking at the opposition of Aries and Libra with these eclipses that have been happening, where the north and south nodes are, the nodes pertaining to the energy of the moon. Okay, so these are very significant energies here. And then I have the 2 of Cups down at the bottom of the deck. All right, so pertaining to a specific union, whether this is in love, in spirituality, in partnership, whatever that may be. All right. The Three of Swords with the Magician card here. All right. Three of Swords is definitely a card that is looked at to be representing the energy of loss, representing the energy of separation, of needing to overcome heartbreak. And I feel that it's because we're stepping into where we're meant to manifest new. All right. Here's the Strength card down at the bottom of the deck. It's requiring us this year to have courage to move forward. All right. To be in the energy of a sense of power behind why we're moving in the path that we're moving in. All right. So what I'm looking at here is the energy of Saturn and Libra. Saturn and Libra can speak about being devoted to something. All right, being devoted to something. It's giving me you having to sacrifice time to put in the work that you're doing here so that you are able to manifest what the near future looks like for you. All right, that's what I have with that. I've seen the King of Cups down at the bottom of the deck under that Strength card. That's Pisces energy. And again, this is where we're stepping out of where, listen, we've had the moon and the sun pass through Pisces already. And it passed through Aquarius already. All right. These planetary transits that have been happening. Pluto in Aquarius. We've got Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces. Coming into this conjunction of planets here, the stellium of planets with Aries energy, it's like this is the new beginning. This is our new year at this time right now, specifically on this date. So whatever you put in is where you're going to see the outcome in the next 6 months, in the next 6 years, I want to say even. The number 6 being very significant again to the reading. All right. I'm seeing that moving forward, it's almost like, let's look at these revolutionary planets, obviously, that are going to be taking place within the next 6 years. I mentioned something about the year 2030 being significant because of a video that I watched on the Next Level Soul podcast. And these channelers that speak about from now up until then, this year specifically being the year that we're going to be experiencing so much change within the next 6 years up until we see 2030, where changes will be happening. Let's see. All right. I'm hoping that this video can literally grab the attention of those that have interest into what it looks like now till then. All right. As we looked back at the 100-year mark from 1924 to 2024. All right. And the changes that we've seen, but also the similarities of what we see from then till now. We need to be better. We need to do better. All right. Because we are leaving the legacy behind for our children and for their children. All right. So I feel that things will change quickly, very quickly. All right. Let's see here. What else comes out? The Queen of Pentacles. All right. It's giving me heavy pre-emperor status here in the reading. Pre-emperor status is like you just want to live a life of comfortability, of being stable, of being able to have a foundation and be grounded within your overall energy, to be in the energy of peace. All right, to live your life with dignity and compassion for other people, right? Just living a very sincere life where the involvement of everybody coming together is seen and expressing the energy of love. All right, and then we have the Devil come out with the Two of Wands. This is moving on. All right, moving on from the energy of the toxicity. It's like, let's look back at what we already know we've experienced. Why would we want to experience that again? Look at how he's looking at the world here. And look at the energy of the Devil. The negative attachments, the toxicity, the wars, just literally in the negative. Why do we want to see that in the future? We've already experienced it. Something about not living in the energy of repetitive, of what we keep seeing year after year, all right, century after century. It's like we have to change as a collective and bring in the energy of love and compassion back to the world. I feel the strategy and where we're going now is going to be through having to go through a soul's journey. Because I'm seeing here the Two of Wands facing the energy of the King of Wands, which is a leader. This is a public speaker. This is someone that is planning to teach people something. Here's the Seven of Swords. What's the strategy? I feel like we all need to go into hermit energy. We all need to take a step back, look within, heal our soul in order to move forward. That's what I'm getting from this. All right. This is going to have the opportunity, or this is going to give us the opportunity, should I say, to step back into our power. There's the Emperor, the Aries energy. All right. It's going to be a long road. We fought long enough. Look at him. He's tired. Okay. We're tired. That's the message. We're all tired. What are we fighting for is what I feel. Literally, what are we fighting for? Death card, King of Cups. All right, I feel that's the transformation. Happens within the emotional state first. As we go within, we tap into how we want to present ourselves out to the world. Obviously, you know, there's always negativity around us. But it's moving away from that energy and really, you know, trying to show other people the energy of love and express how to move forward with that. Or, I mean, obviously the Knight of Cups is the expression of the messenger of love, yeah? So I feel that's significant as well. Oh boy, makes me want to cry, you know. So many years that one can fear so many things, and it's like, at some point, when do you stop fearing things? When are you unafraid? When we give to each other? When we express the energy of reciprocity? When people understand what it is to give and receive? When people really help, you know, those that are going through hardships in their life and how to overcome burdens. All right. When I look at Pentacle energy, it can speak about your home, your environment, finances, work, career. When I look at this card, I think about those that are being left out in poverty within our environment and how we've experienced this for so many years, and this is what we should be expressing. Coming out of the 5 and moving into the energy of the 6 is what I just saw. All right. See? And there's the World card. You guys have to understand that the World card represents something coming full circle. For me, this is like we've completed our 100-year span. Let's step into this new chapter. Let's end this chapter. Let's start a new one. You know what I mean? Like, this is Saturn's energy. Let's move forward in the energy of authority within self. All right, authority where, you know, we can create structure for what we want to see in the near future. That type of energy. We want to see other leaders built at this time. I feel leaders that are meant to express the energy of love. All right, where we can continue to have celebrations of positivity. of compassion, of nurturing others in the near future, not of negativity. All right. And again, this can be leaders, all right, expressing the energy of love when it comes to a specific journey. And that's a spiritual one for me. I feel like that's how everybody's going to get there. I'm telling you. I changed within a year or two. Complete different person. Complete different person. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't fight it. I chose to walk away. I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. I chose to start something in which I said it in one of my videos. I will never work for somebody else. I'd rather work for myself. Everybody's not going to get there. Everybody's not that. Everybody doesn't have the balls to do it, number one. Number two, there's obviously obstacles that are in other people's lives that stop them from being able to do that. But you have to be unafraid. You have to trust. You have to believe. You have to have faith. You know what I mean? And I feel that moving forward should be where no one is living in the energy of burden. That's what I feel. All right. Let's pull the crystal and we are out of here. What is the crystal for today? April 8th of 2024. Solar eclipse in Aries. Alright. Where am I at right now? I'm at the hour of Jupiter here on Moon's Day. Okay. At the hour of Jupiter. Where do we expand here? Let's just say, where do we expand as a collective with this crystal? I'm going to let Spirit spit it out. There we go. Amazonite, number 2. Truth, revelation, the evolution, and natural flow of events. That's what came out. Down at the bottom of the deck is Numite. So achieving self-mastery, inner power, recovering your sense of self. Didn't I say? Okay. I'll read out Amazonite. All right. Numite I have read multiple times, but just for the hell of it, I will do it. All right. Amazonite. Let me just take a sip, guys, because I've been speaking and speaking and speaking. All right, here we go. It says, not everything reveals itself right away in full detail. Wouldn't that be nice? But the conscious universe is unfolding a plan for you so much more brilliant than you can imagine, and Amazonite Spirit is here to help you trust in the process and flow of revelation. Some things will be disclosed that may shake you up, but if so, it's all for your highest good. So pay close attention and go with it. The conscious universe prefers you to learn your lessons without suffering. So if you allow situations to fluidly evolve instead of trying to control them, you will see that much wisdom is being made available to you right now. Mind, body, and the conscious universe are interconnected. So be attentive to connections you previously overlooked, thought weren't such a big deal. They have more insights for you than you might have expected. What is unfolding will help you understand your purpose and find your destiny. You don't have to be a victim of fate. With your future defined by repeating lessons learned in the past, you are being prepared for something awesome that you are already moving towards. Excitement and trust are in order. I love it. All right. So the relationship message here says, love is sometimes so blind, and we see what we want to see. Thus, we might need a little nudge from the conscious universe in order to become aware of something bigger on the horizon for us. Maybe this relationship isn't meant to be, but rather is here to prepare you for the one you most deserve. Or maybe it needs to change into a new and better form. and you have to let go so it can evolve naturally, perhaps developing into something deeper and more meaningful. Maybe what you have been worried about is an obstacle the trust and intimacy placed there to help you and your partner grow and become even more connected in love. Fear not, for what is being revealed is for the highest good of all. The conscious universe wants you to be happy and has much to teach you about getting in your own way. Be open to the revelations you are about to experience. Prosperity message. Situations change, requiring us to change too. But we like the familiarity of old patterns, even when they aren't working. Now, however, as a potential future is revealing itself to you, you're feeling the challenge of letting go of the old and embracing the new. You have enough and you are enough, but you still have some growing to do to fully embrace what is unfolding. So pay attention to what is being disclosed. Let go of your need to steer your boat and let the river of life carry you forward. Ask the conscious universe to help you be brave and enthusiastic as an unfamiliar map unfurls before you. And trust that its treasures will all be revealed when you are ready. Prosperity and abundance are your natural state, and you are returning to just that. Open to a new plan now. Amazonite spirit is calling you to tread a path that will take you away from false beliefs about your potential. Okay, so this crystal spirit meditation says, meditation with the stone encourages us to explore who we are at the deepest level. It assists us in ascertaining ascertaining what is true for us at the core of our being, and asks us to own what we know as our truth with unshakable certainty and absolute confidence. All right, so excuse me reading, guys. Mercury's still retrograde. Don't judge me. But it's given me, again, truth, revelation, the evolution, and the natural flow of events, and how everything is happening at the time that is meant to happen. All right, and I kept saying that as well on my readings. Divine timing is here. It's here. Let's look at New Might. I just read this one, I believe, probably 2, 3, 4 readings ago, but I'll read it again, just for the hell of it. All right, New Might. Evidence of progress can seem elusive at times, but when New Might spirit appears, it is a sign that you might be underestimating how far you have come. Our minds are conditioned to pay attention to the negative and overlook all that is good in our lives, including the results of our efforts over time. You may not have received a big blue ribbon or parade in your honor, but the conscious universe acknowledges and celebrates all of your hard work mastering your fears. Make peace with the part of yourself that tells you that whatever you do, it will never be enough. You are developing mastery, and there will be times when you feel as if your progress is slow and inadequate. But you are called now to acknowledge that you have indeed persevered, learned much, and not given up. Doing so will help you stay the course rather than veer off track. Be gentle with yourself as you master the challenges you always seem to overcome somehow. You are getting better at this thing called life, at building healthy relationships and prosperity, and at knowing and loving yourself as much as the conscious universe does. Give yourself credit and keep practicing. We are all learning, and New Might Spirit is here to tell you that the conscious universe is watching and is so very proud of you. So the relationship message. When it comes to your relationship with others, building trust and intimacy is the process. Practice leads to results, for repetition develops skills. Just as you engage in a dance with a partner, leading and following, stay present in the moment, listening to the signs and cues, and being clear about what you need and desire. Yes, toes will get stepped on here and there, but it's how you and your partner deal with the inevitable missteps that allows you to develop a closeness that can stand up to even the biggest challenges. Practice, practice, practice. And soon it will be the second nature to express yourself in relationships in ways that reflect your highest aspirations for how you want to show up for others and what you want to experience. Cultivate love through practicing being loving. Prosperity message. Dig into the earth and you will soon realize that layers upon layers of soil and rock have built up over time. And this is a lesson for how to build a foundation in the material world to help you feel more secure. Your true prosperity will always lie in your relationship with the conscious universe, your co-creator. New Might Spirit is here to remind you that outer conditions will soon begin to reflect your intention to own your natural abundance, but you must practice the art of being wealth, which might feel unfamiliar and uncomfortable to you. Take time today to honor yourself for how far you have come and the discipline you have shown in methodically working to master your fears about not having enough and about not being up to the task of wealth building. Abundance within, abundance without is what the conscious universe wants for you. You are getting there incrementally each time you commit to practice and consciously repeat the actions you know are healthy and in alignment with abundance. Mastery arises from conscious repetition, so know what you need to do and do it. The conscious universe is with you. So the crystal meditation here speaks about New might feel sacred, carrying the vibration of the wise elder or teacher. When you are ready, this stone will assist us in diving down into the very depths of self in order to unearth and reclaim the lost or the buried parts of us. It encourages us to embrace and integrate the neglected pieces of who we are, step into our power, and once again know ourselves as the perfect beings we have always been. All right, guys. I love you, and that's where I'm going to be leaving the reading today. Check you later.